Good morning, fifth graders, and happy Wednesday. So, we're going to continue our work with talking about reliable websites and what that means when we are looking for information with nonfiction text. So, we started off with talking about what makes sources reliable. I gave you some to look at, and yesterday you selected your own site. We're going to continue that work looking at the topic of school lunches, school food. But this time, I'm going to give you the website today, and we're going to talk about how we actually take information from that source to put it in our own words. So what we're going to work on for the rest of this week is we're going to practice how we take nonfiction information from a website to answer questions and do it in a way to make sure that it's in our own words and do it in a way that we are showing what we are learning and in a way that our teachers know that we are learning what we should be learning. So this is the website that you're going to look at today. It's called Healthy Schools Campaign. Now, as always, when we look at a new website, we want to look through the website and see what it's all about. So just by the name, Healthy Schools Campaign, this is showing me that this must be some type of campaign to get school food healthier. I also see right here it's healthyschoolscampaign.org. .org shows me that it is an organization, typically a nonprofit. So I'm just going to briefly click on who we are. Now, I already read through this, but I want to show you guys what this website is about to help us continue the conversation about why we should look through websites to figure out its reliability and more about it. So about Healthy Schools Campaign, we believe all students should have access to healthy school environments where they can learn and thrive. It's a comprehensive approach for healthy schools. Healthy Schools Campaign, a national nonprofit organization, works to ensure that schools can provide students with healthy environments, nutritious food, health services, and opportunities for physical activity. Our approach is strategic and comprehensive. Drawing on our work in Chicago Public Schools, we develop policy and program recommendations supporting healthy schools and advocate for these recommendations at the local, state, and national level. Awesome. So basically, they are trying to develop policy and develop programs that are going to help schools be healthier, starting with Chicago Public Schools and then moving also nationwide. So there's a lot of information that we can look here. Here's their priorities. Here's what they are doing on a local and national level. Lots of videos here. So what you're first going to do today is click around this website, see how much information you can learn about it. You want to, again, think through those questions. Who is the author? When was this last updated or when was it created? Is this also something that other sources have been telling me? Is this based on personal experience? So when I know about school lunches, all of those things are things you want to think through when we look at news sources. So again, today we are going to practice how do we actually take evidence from a website, put it in our own words to answer questions. So today, this is what you're going to do. You're going to create your own Word or Notability document. Our assignment today is called Citing Website Evidence with your name up here. These are what the 4 questions are going to be. Again, this is going to be posted on your directions. What is the organization's belief regarding food in Chicago schools? How many meals on average do students have at school by the time they graduate? What are some ways improved nutrition can help students academically? And how is school food a social justice issue? Now, I want to talk you through how we actually put information from nonfiction text, like facts. How do we put that in our own words to make sure we're not plagiarizing, to make sure we're using evidence in a successful academic way? So what I want to kind of remind you of is let's think about when you go to the movies. So let's think back to the last time that you went to a movie. Let's pretend you went to a movie with 3 of your friends, and one of your friends, John, wasn't able to come to the movie with you because he had a basketball tournament. So the next day at school, John says, "Oh, how was the movie?" Now, in your mind, you automatically put things in your own words. You were going to say, "Oh, in the beginning, this happened. In the middle, this happened. The main character did this." And you're going to put it in ways that your friend understands in the ways that you normally talk, because that's naturally what you do. That's what we want to think about when we put things in our own words. We're still using the same information like in a movie or on a website, but we're transferring it to our own words. So you want to remember that the way that you typically speak is the way that you would write your answer. So if there's a big word that's online, that's something that you wouldn't usually say, you want to put that in your own words. So we are going to, I am going to show you how we can answer a question using another page on the website. My question is going to be, again, this is not part of the 4 you're going to answer. This is just for me to model. How does healthy food fuel school learning? So I already looked at this website. I'm going to go to issues here on school food. So this is just where my answer is going to be. All your answers are going to be on the main page over there, and I'll talk through that more at the end. All right, school food shapes learning and health and our food system. At HSC, we take a systems approach to transforming school food and recognizing the powerful role that policy plays in determining what students find on their cafeteria trays. We place a high priority on school food policy because we recognize its power to fuel learning. This first part is the question that I'm answering. So now I'm going to model for you, how do I put this information in my own words? Healthy meals support schools' core mission of education, especially when it comes to boosting students' concentration, focus, and cognitive function. So right there, that first sentence, that's showing me, why is healthy food important? How does it fuel education? Well, looks like it boosts students' concentration, focus, and cognitive function. Now, cognitive function, that is never a word that I would naturally say, cognitive function. That's not like basic talk. So, what I know cognitive function means like completing daily tasks. Your cognitive function is what you do to complete tasks. That's like the part of your brain that does everyday tasks. So what this is telling me is that healthy diets help me pay attention and complete daily tasks in a successful way. That's what this line basically is telling me. But in a way that I would typically say pay attention instead of concentration or focus. And I would say complete daily tasks instead of cognitive function, because that makes more sense. That's like my normal talk. So I'm going to say healthy food helps students pay attention and complete daily tasks successfully. So I'm taking that same information, I'm just putting it in a way that makes more sense to me, that I would better understand. Now let's pretend that I didn't already know what cognitive means or function means, or together what cognitive function means. I could actually go look up what that means to try to figure it out and then put it in my own words. That's okay. If that's what happens to you on this website, by all means do that. We just don't want to copy something that the website says if it doesn't sound natural to us. All right, so let's move on. A vast body of research shows that improved nutrition in schools leads to increased focus and attention, improved test scores, and better classroom behavior. All right, so I already talked about increased focus and attention. I talked about that when I said paying attention and doing daily tasks, but it also says that they have better test scores and classroom behavior. So it shows me that they're more on task in class. That's what I think better classroom behavior means. So more on task, and improved test scores, that they score higher on tests. That makes sense. So I'm going to say healthy eating also helps students stay on task during class and score higher on tests. So I'm taking the exact information that was from right here from this paragraph, but I'm just putting it in a way that I understand better, and in a way that sounds natural to how I would say it. Again, think about how you would recall a movie. You would just put it in your own words, and you wouldn't use any fancy dialogue, and you would just say it in a way that makes sense to you, just highlighting the important parts. All right. So when you have these questions here, there's also sometimes when you have facts, like you can't change it too much if it's a fact, like a number, but you still want to make sure that you're answering these questions and using a full sentence and using the information from the website, but in your own way. So your questions are, what's the organization's belief regarding food in Chicago schools? How many meals on average do students have at school by the time they graduate? Now, number two, the actual number, you obviously can't change, but you still want to say it in a full sentence and in a way that makes sense to you. What are some ways improved nutrition can help students academically? And how is school food a social justice issue? So all of these only only number 2 should be one sentence. The rest of these can be several sentences. It is all just found in this website. But again, I wanted to encourage you in the beginning to click around to figure out more about what this website is about. And then we're going to continue to work on this skill of how we use evidence from a website and put it in our own words to answer some questions. Let me know if you need anything. As always, I'll have conferences today, and I hope you have a great Wednesday. Bye, 5th graders.